"You earned your place here, Miss Brooks." For the rest of that morning, Hannah Brooks would hold on to those 6 words. By sunset, she would wonder if she had made a terrible mistake. At 8:07 on Monday morning, Hannah stood beneath the glass entrance of Montgomery Group, staring up at 48 stories of steel, sunlight, and reflected sky. For a moment, she didn't move. Her new employee badge rested inside her palm. She had been holding it so tightly that its plastic edge had left a pale line across her skin. Hannah had imagined this morning for years. Not this building exactly. Something simpler. A steady paycheck. Health insurance. Predictable hours. A job where she could stop checking her bank balance before buying groceries and stop pretending not to worry when another bill arrived. Her phone vibrated. One message. From her daughter. "Good luck, Mommy. I love you." Hannah smiled. That was enough. She slipped the phone into her worn crossbody bag, smoothed the front of her blouse, and walked inside. The lobby seemed impossibly bright. Morning sunlight poured through floor-to-ceiling windows. Shoes clicked across polished stone. Elevators chimed in steady intervals. Men and women moved past her carrying coffee, laptops, conversations about meetings Hannah didn't understand yet. Everyone seemed to know exactly where they belonged. Hannah didn't. Not yet. She approached security, showed her badge, and heard the soft electronic beep that granted her access. Such a small sound. Still, something inside her loosened. She had made it. 3 months earlier, Hannah had been sitting at her kitchen table after her daughter went to sleep, filling out applications beneath the yellow light above the stove. 27 applications. 9 automated rejections. For interviews. Then Montgomery Group called. The position came with a salary Hannah had read twice because she thought she had misunderstood it. For the first time in years, she could imagine breathing without calculating the cost. "Hannah Brooks." She stopped. The voice came from behind her. Charles Montgomery stood several feet away, one hand holding a leather portfolio, his charcoal suit understated but unmistakably tailored. People passing nearby seemed to straighten almost unconsciously. Hannah recognized him immediately. The man whose name was on the building. The billionaire CEO who had surprised everyone by sitting in on the final 10 minutes of her interview. "Mr. Montgomery." Charles glanced at the badge in her hand, then back at her. Nervous. A little. A faint warmth touched his expression. "Good." Hannah blinked. "It means this matters to you." Then his voice softened. "You earned your place here, Miss Brooks." No grand welcome. No speech. Just 6 words. But Hannah felt them settle somewhere deeper than she expected. "Thank you, sir." Charles gave a small nod and continued toward the executive elevators. Hannah watched him disappear into the morning crowd. Then she looked down at her badge. Maybe this really was the beginning she had been waiting for. The elevator to the 47th floor arrived with a quiet chime. Hannah stepped inside. Just before the doors closed, a woman's hand appeared between them. The doors opened again. A sharply dressed executive entered, glanced at Hannah, then at her badge. Her eyes paused on the department name, then Hannah's name. Hannah Brooks. Yes. The woman studied her for 1 second too long. Then she smiled. It was perfectly professional, perfectly polite, and somehow not warm at all. "You're the one, Mr. Montgomery hired personally." Hannah felt the elevator begin to rise. "Yes, I suppose I am." The woman faced forward. The numbers above the doors climbed. 29, 30, 31. Then, almost casually, she said, "That's interesting." Hannah turned slightly, but the woman said nothing else. At 47, the doors opened. Hannah stepped into her dream job, and for the first time that morning, she felt something she couldn't explain. Not excitement, not nervousness, a warning. By 9:26 that morning, Hannah had learned something no orientation packet could have taught her. A workplace could smile at you and still make it clear you were not welcome. Her desk sat near the windows on the 47th floor, surrounded by pale wood, glass walls, and quiet conversations. From there, Chicago stretched beneath the morning haze, traffic moving far below like thin ribbons between buildings. It should have felt like success. Instead, Hannah felt as though she had entered a room where everyone else knew a rule no one had bothered to explain. Her manager, Rebecca Sloan, had introduced herself with a firm handshake and a polished smile. "We move quickly here, Hannah. I assume that will not be a problem." "No, ma'am." Rebecca's smile tightened. "Rebecca is fine." Then she walked away. 10 minutes later, Hannah discovered she could not access the shared project folder she had been told to review. She sent a polite message. No response. She waited 7 minutes, then asked a nearby coworker. The woman looked surprised. "You were not added?" "Apparently not." "That is strange." But she turned back to her monitor without offering to help. Hannah returned to her desk. Another email arrived moments later, assigning her a report due before lunch. The supporting documents were in the same folder she still could not access. She stared at the screen. Then she breathed out slowly. Fine. She had survived harder mornings than this. Hannah called information technology herself, requested access, found an older version of the report in the company archive, and began reconstructing what she could. Around her, conversations continued. Then, when Hannah stood to refill her water bottle, one conversation stopped. Completely. She kept walking, pretended not to notice. That part was harder. Near the break area, a man in a gray maintenance uniform was kneeling beside an overturned paper cup. Coffee had spread across the tile, and he was wiping it quickly with a towel. An executive stood nearby. "You need to watch what you are doing," the executive said. The older man looked up. "I am sorry, sir, but I believe your briefcase caught the cup when you turned." The executive checked his watch. "Just clean it up." Then he walked away. Hannah had seen everything. She had seen the briefcase strike the cup. She had seen the maintenance worker step backward to avoid making the spill worse. And she had seen 3 other people notice too. None of them stopped. Hannah set down her water bottle and crouched beside him. "Here." She gathered the dry napkins that had scattered beneath a chair. The man glanced at her badge. "First day." Hannah smiled faintly. "Is it that obvious?" He chuckled. "Only because you stopped." Hannah handed him the napkins. A woman passing behind them slowed. "You do not need to do that anymore." Hannah looked up. The woman wore the same kind of expensive confidence Hannah had been surrounded by all morning. "Anymore." The woman gave a small shrug. "You work upstairs now." Then she continued down the hall. Hannah remained still for a moment. The maintenance worker lowered his eyes. "Do not let it bother you." But it did. Not because Hannah was embarrassed, because she understood exactly what the woman had meant. There were people here who mattered, and people who were expected to disappear into the background. Hannah returned to her desk at 9:41. A new file was waiting in her inbox. Priority. Review immediately. She opened it, expecting another routine report. 3 minutes later, she stopped typing. One number did not match. Hannah checked it again. Then another. And another. She leaned closer to the screen. This was not a formatting mistake. Something inside the report had been changed, and whoever had changed it had expected the new woman on the 47th floor not to ask why. At 11:40, Hannah was still looking at the same 3 numbers. She had checked the formulas twice. Then she checked the source records. The totals were correct. The story they told was not. Hannah leaned closer to her monitor, keeping her expression neutral as people moved quietly behind her. The report summarized employee complaints for the previous quarter. On the surface, everything looked reassuring. Response times were improving. Workplace concerns were declining. Management satisfaction was rising. It was exactly the kind of report a board wanted to see. But Hannah had found the missing pieces. 17 complaints appeared in the source records. Only 6 appeared in the final report. She opened another file. 11 concerns had been reclassified as informal conversations, which meant they no longer counted against the department's performance numbers. Hannah sat back. For several seconds, she listened to the soft hum of the office. Printers. Keyboards. The distant chime of an elevator. Ordinary sounds, surrounding something that suddenly did not feel ordinary at all. She picked up her notebook and walked toward Rebecca Sloan's office. Rebecca was speaking with 2 department managers when Hannah appeared at the glass door. Rebecca looked at her watch. "Is the report finished?" "Almost." "I have a question." One manager exchanged a glance with the other. Rebecca gestured toward an empty chair. Go ahead. Hannah remained standing. The complaint totals do not match the source records. Silence. Not confusion. Silence. That distinction mattered. Rebecca folded her hands on the desk. Which totals? 17 complaints were submitted. The report lists 6. Rebecca's face barely changed. The others were reviewed. I saw that. Hannah placed her notebook on the desk. 11 were reclassified. Correct. But several still describe unresolved workplace concerns. One of the managers leaned back. You have been here for less than 4 hours. His voice was calm, almost amused. Hannah met his eyes. That does not change the numbers. The room became still again. Rebecca closed the report on her screen. Hannah, internal reporting requires context. Not every complaint belongs in a board summary. I understand. Do you? The question landed softly. Hannah felt the old instinct rise inside her. The instinct built from years of needing jobs more than jobs needed her. Smile. Agree. Do not make trouble. She thought of her daughter. Then she looked at the report again. I understand judgment calls, Hannah said. I just need to know why these 11 were removed before I approve the file. The second manager sighed. You are not approving policy. You are processing a document. There it was. Simple. Clean. A door offered quietly. Hannah could walk through it, return to her desk, finish the report, and collect the paycheck she desperately needed. Rebecca slid the folder toward her. Complete the review and send it upstairs by noon. Hannah did not reach for it. Who authorized the reclassification? Rebecca's eyes hardened by the smallest degree. Your job is to process it, not question it. Hannah felt something inside her settle. Not fear. Clarity. She picked up the folder and returned to her desk. At 12:07, she still had not sent it. At 12:32, most of the floor emptied for lunch. Hannah opened one of the missing complaints again. This time she noticed a name. Megan Ellis. She recognized it. The young woman worked 3 rows behind her. Hannah turned toward Megan's desk. Empty. Then she heard something beyond the hallway. A small, uneven breath from behind the stairwell door. Hannah hesitated. She pushed it open. Megan sat on the landing, her lunch untouched beside her, wiping tears from her cheeks before anyone could see them. When she noticed Hannah, embarrassment crossed her face. I am fine. Hannah did not pretend to believe her. She sat one step away, leaving space between them. For a moment, neither woman spoke. Then Hannah quietly asked, Megan, did someone tell you to take responsibility for that complaint? Megan did not answer. That was the answer. For a few seconds, the stairwell held only the muted hum of the building and the distant movement of traffic 47 floors below. Hannah waited. She did not press. Finally, Megan looked down at her untouched lunch. They said I misunderstood what happened. Hannah kept her voice gentle. Did you? Megan gave a small, tired shake of her head. No. The word barely carried. Then more followed. The complaint had started 3 weeks earlier. Megan had reported that her team was being pressured to close employee concerns before they were actually resolved. Nothing dramatic. Nothing that would make headlines. Just numbers being made cleaner than reality. When Megan questioned it, she was told she was inexperienced. When she documented it, the complaint was reclassified. And that morning, she had been asked to sign a statement saying the entire issue came from her misunderstanding of procedure. If I sign it, this disappears, Megan whispered. If I do not. She stopped. Hannah understood the unfinished sentence. Rent did not care about principles. Groceries did not wait for courage. And employers rarely saw the nights behind a person's paycheck. Hannah looked at her own badge. Only hours ago, it had felt like proof that her life was finally becoming more stable. She thought of her daughter that morning. Good luck, Mommy. I love you. Hannah had spent years teaching her that honesty mattered, especially when honesty was inconvenient. Children remembered what adults did far longer than what adults told them. Did anyone threaten your job? Hannah asked. Not directly. Megan gave a humorless little smile. They are smarter than that. Hannah nodded. Of course they were. Everything on the 47th floor seemed to happen politely, even fear. At 1:02, Hannah returned to her desk. The office had begun filling again. Coffee cups appeared beside keyboards. Chairs rolled back beneath desks. Conversations resumed as if nothing important had happened. Her report remained open. At the bottom of the screen waited a simple approval field. Hannah Brooks. One click. That was all they needed. She placed her fingers on the keyboard, then stopped. Rebecca appeared beside her desk at 1:15. "We are waiting on your report." Hannah looked up. "I cannot approve it." Rebecca's expression remained composed. "Excuse me. The report leaves out documented complaints that are still unresolved. We discussed this." "We did." "Then I am not sure what is unclear." Hannah stood. Her heart was beating faster now, but her voice did not follow it. "Nothing is unclear." Several nearby keyboards went quiet. Rebecca noticed. Her voice lowered. "Come with me." They entered a small conference room overlooking the city. The door closed softly behind them. Rebecca placed the report on the table. "You have an opportunity here that many people would be grateful for." "I am grateful." "Then act like it." That hurt more than Hannah expected. Not because it was cruel, because some part of her had already said the same thing to herself. Be grateful. Do not risk this. Think about your daughter. Hannah looked through the glass wall toward Megan's desk. Then she remembered something else. Her daughter would grow up watching what Hannah accepted, and one day she might accept the same things. Hannah turned back. "I am grateful for the job." She slid the unsigned report across the table. But gratitude does not make something true. Rebecca stared at her. For the first time that day, the polished smile disappeared. "Hannah, I strongly suggest you reconsider." Hannah looked at the empty signature field, then at her employee badge. Her dream was still hanging from that small plastic clip, but suddenly, it felt much heavier. "No," Hannah said quietly. "I think I finally understand exactly what I am being asked to do." Rebecca did not respond immediately. She simply looked at Hannah across the conference table, as if waiting for fear to finish the conversation for her. It almost did. Hannah thought about the paycheck, the health insurance, the stack of bills tucked inside a kitchen drawer at home, organized by due date because organization was sometimes the only control she had. Then Rebecca pulled out the chair across from her. "Sit down." Hannah did. Rebecca opened the report again. "This does not have to become complicated." Her voice was quieter now. No anger. No threat. That made it worse. "You finished the review," Rebecca continued. "You confirmed that the figures match the approved reporting standards, and tomorrow morning, you come back to work." Hannah looked at the signature field. "And Megan?" Rebecca paused. "Megan's situation is separate. It is in the report. It does not need to be." There it was again. A clean solution. A comfortable lie. Hannah stared through the glass wall. Beyond it, employees moved between desks carrying coffee and folders, living an ordinary Monday afternoon. Nobody out there knew that her entire future seemed to have narrowed into one empty line waiting for her name. Rebecca leaned back. "You have a daughter, correct?" Hannah's eyes lifted. "Yes." "Then you understand responsibility." The word struck somewhere tender. For one brief moment, Hannah imagined herself signing. She imagined picking up her daughter that evening, smiling, saying the first day had gone wonderfully. She imagined groceries without counting every dollar. A dentist appointment she would no longer postpone. Maybe responsibility meant swallowing one uncomfortable moment. Maybe pride was a luxury. Then another thought came. What happened when her daughter was older? And someone powerful asked her to stay quiet because telling the truth was inconvenient. What would Hannah tell her then? Do what is right, or do what is safe? Hannah reached for the badge clipped near her cardigan. Rebecca watched her. "Hannah." The small plastic clip opened with a soft snap. Hannah placed the badge beside the unsigned report. "I spent years trying to get into a building like this." Her voice trembled once. She let it. "I thought if I worked hard enough, stayed patient, and kept showing up, eventually someone would give me a chance." Rebecca's expression shifted. "Not much. Enough." Hannah looked at the badge. This morning, walking through those doors felt like proof that all of it had been worth something. She took a slow breath. But I did not work this hard just to teach my daughter that security matters more than character. Rebecca folded her arms. You are making an emotional decision. No. Hannah looked directly at her. For the first time today, I think I am making a very clear one. The room went silent. 2:48 Hannah stood. Rebecca remained seated. If you walk out now, I cannot promise this position will still exist tomorrow. Hannah's hand rested on the back of the chair. Fear moved through her quietly. She did not pretend otherwise. She needed this job. That truth had not changed. But needing something did not automatically make it worth keeping. Hannah picked up her bag. Then maybe this is not my dream job. She opened the conference room door. Several people looked away too quickly. Megan stood near her desk, frozen. Their eyes met. Hannah gave her the smallest nod. Nothing heroic. Nothing dramatic. Just one woman telling another, without words, that the truth had not been abandoned. Then Hannah walked toward the elevators. At 3:01, her badge remained on the conference table. At 3:17, Rebecca received a call from the executive floor. At 3:32, Charles Montgomery looked up from a financial briefing when his chief of staff entered carrying Hannah's badge. Charles recognized the name immediately. His expression changed. Why do you have this? The answer came carefully. Miss Brooks is leaving. Charles glanced at the clock, then back at the badge. Her first day was not even over. Why? The chief of staff hesitated, and in that hesitation, Charles understood one thing. Whatever had happened downstairs, someone did not want to tell him. Charles Montgomery closed the financial briefing. Around the conference table, 6 executives stopped speaking. Give me 10 minutes. No one questioned him. Charles left the room with Hannah's badge in his hand. His chief of staff followed him into the hallway. What happened? We are still gathering details. Charles stopped walking. That was not my question. A pause. Then came the careful version. There had been a disagreement over an internal report. Hannah had questioned the classification of several employee complaints. Rebecca Sloan had explained the reporting procedure. Hannah had refused to approve the document. Then she had resigned. Charles looked down at the badge. That explanation was neat. Too neat. Show me the report. By 3:39, Charles was standing in his office with the document open across 2 monitors. The summary showed 6 complaints. The source record showed 17. He said nothing. His chief of staff stood near the desk. Rebecca says the others were reclassified according to departmental discretion. Who approved that discretion? We are checking. Charles looked up. Check faster. His voice never rose. It did not need to. 3:46, another detail arrived. Megan Ellis. Her complaint had been reclassified that morning. Charles requested the original record, then the revision, then the approval history. Each document added another quiet piece. At 3:53, he asked for Hannah's activity log. She had requested access to missing files. She had reviewed the source records. She had raised the discrepancy. She had refused to sign. Nothing suggested carelessness. Nothing suggested confusion. The woman had done exactly what he had hired her to do. She had paid attention. Charles leaned back in his chair. Through the windows, afternoon light stretched across Chicago. His name stood on the building. His decisions shaped budgets, acquisitions, salaries, and careers. Yet 47 floors below his office, employees had apparently learned something he had never intended to teach them. Protect the number. Protect the department. Do not inconvenience the people above you with the truth. For years, Charles had believed good leadership meant choosing capable people and trusting them to run their divisions. Now another possibility settled over him. Perhaps distance could become negligence without anyone noticing, including him. Where is Ms. Brooks? His chief of staff checked his phone. She has not left the building yet. Human Resources asked her to complete an exit form. Charles stood. Cancel that. Sir, she does not owe us paperwork before we owe her an explanation. At 4:03, Charles stepped into the elevator. The doors closed. For once, the descent felt longer than the rise had that morning. He remembered Hannah during her interview. No polished performance. No attempt to impress him. When asked what she did when instructions seemed wrong, she had answered simply, "I ask enough questions to understand what I am putting my name on." Charles had liked that answer. Apparently, someone downstairs had not. The elevator opened onto 47. Conversation softened almost immediately. Charles noticed. He noticed something else, too. The maintenance worker Hannah had helped that morning stood near the service hallway. Charles approached him. "Did you meet Hannah Brooks today?" The man looked surprised. "Yes, sir." "What did you see?" The answer was simple. Someone who noticed people. Charles absorbed that. Not reports. Not titles. People. He continued toward Rebecca's department. Megan saw him first. Her face lost color. Charles stopped beside her desk. "Miss Ellis, no one is asking you to sign anything today." Megan stared at him. "Sir, You do not need to explain right now." His tone softened. "Just keep your original records." Then Charles turned toward the elevators. The display showed one car descending toward the lobby. "Hannah." He pressed the call button. Too late. The elevator had already passed their floor. Charles watched the numbers fall. 38, 37, 36. For the first time that day, the billionaire whose name covered the building understood that Hannah Brooks had never been the employee on trial. His company was. And she was already walking away with the verdict. At 4:41, Hannah reached the lobby. The same sunlight that had filled the building that morning had softened into a warm afternoon glow. People moved through the revolving doors with briefcases and coffee cups, already thinking about trains, traffic, dinner, home. Hannah stood near the security desk and searched inside her bag for her car keys. Her hands were steady now. That surprised her. The fear was still there, of course. Tomorrow would bring applications, phone calls, calculations, and the uncomfortable task of explaining why the best opportunity she had ever received lasted less than one day. But beneath the fear was something quieter. Relief. "Hannah." She knew the voice. She turned. Charles Montgomery was crossing the lobby toward her. No entourage, no assistant. Just Charles walking quickly enough that several employees noticed. Hannah straightened. "Mr. Montgomery, I was hoping I would catch you before you left." She tightened her fingers around her keys. "If this is about the exit paperwork, Human Resources said they could email it." "It is not." Charles stopped several feet away. For a moment he seemed to search for the right words. "I read the report." Hannah said nothing. "I also reviewed the original complaints." That changed something. Only slightly. But Charles saw it. "Then you know why I could not sign it." "I do." Hannah looked toward the doors. "My daughter is expecting me. I will not keep you long." Charles paused. "Why did you not call my office?" Hannah looked back at him. The question did not sound accusatory. That almost made it harder. "Would you have taken my call?" "Yes." "You know that." Charles frowned. Hannah continued. "I did not." The lobby seemed quieter around them. "I met you during my interview. You were kind to me this morning. But I am a new employee on my first day. And you are the chief executive officer of a company with thousands of people." She drew a slow breath. "I should not need personal access to the billionaire who owns the building just to be treated fairly inside it." Charles became completely still. Hannah had expected an explanation. Maybe even a defense. None came. So she continued. "What happens to Megan when there is no new employee willing to ask questions?" Charles lowered his eyes for a moment. "And what happens to the maintenance worker downstairs when nobody important happens to notice how people speak to him?" Her voice remained soft. That was what gave the words their weight. "I do not want special treatment, Mr. Montgomery." "I understand." "I do not think you do." Charles looked at her. Hannah swallowed. She had already lost the job. There was little reason left to hide behind politeness. "This morning you told me I earned my place here." "I remember." "I believed you." A pause. "But by lunch, I realized some people in this building believe dignity comes with a job title." Charles glanced across the lobby. Employees passed security. A custodian emptied a trash container near the elevators. A receptionist answered a phone. A senior executive walked past both without looking at either. Charles had crossed this lobby thousands of times. Suddenly, he seemed to be seeing it differently. "I did not know," he said. Hannah's expression softened, but only slightly. I believe you. Those words should have comforted him. They did not. That might be the problem. Charles looked at her for a long moment. Then he nodded. Not as a chief executive officer. As a man accepting something he did not enjoy hearing. You are right. Hannah had not expected that. Charles reached into his jacket and removed nothing. No check. No business card. No offer designed to solve her life in 30 seconds. Instead, he stepped aside from the path to the doors. I am not going to ask you to trust this company again today. Hannah looked at him. But I am asking for 10 minutes. For what? Not to convince you to stay. His eyes moved toward the elevators. To let you see what I do after learning why you wanted to leave. The elevator chimed behind him. Its doors opened. Charles did not step inside. He waited. For the first time since morning, Hannah looked back toward the 47th floor. Then at the exit. Her car keys rested quietly in her hand. 10 minutes would not restore her trust. But perhaps it would tell her whether Charles Montgomery deserved any of it. Hannah looked at the open elevator. Then at Charles. 10 minutes. That is all I am asking. At 4:48, the doors opened again on the 47th floor. This time the room noticed Hannah immediately. Conversations faded. Rebecca Sloan stood outside the same conference room where Hannah had left her badge less than 2 hours earlier. 2 department managers were already seated inside, along with Charles's chief of staff and a representative from Human Resources. Hannah slowed. Charles did not. He entered the room, pulled out a chair for Hannah, then remained standing. On the table lay the report. Beside it sat Hannah's badge. Charles placed the original complaint records next to both. No one spoke. Finally, Rebecca cleared her throat. Charles, I believe there has been a misunderstanding. Charles looked at her. That is what I am here to determine. His voice was calm. Rebecca began explaining reporting discretion, departmental standards, and the need to distinguish formal complaints from informal concerns. Charles listened without interruption. When she finished, he opened the original report. 17 complaints were submitted. Yes. 6 were reported. That is correct. 11 disappeared from the board summary. They were reclassified. Charles nodded once. Then he asked the question that changed the room. How long has my company been rewarding people for hiding the truth from me? Rebecca's face tightened. That is not what happened. Then help me understand what did. Charles turned toward Human Resources. Effective immediately, no complaint connected to this department is to be altered, closed, or reclassified until an independent review is complete. The representative nodded. Understood. Megan Ellis keeps her original statement exactly as she submitted it. Another nod. No manager named in a complaint will participate in deciding how that complaint is categorized. Charles looked around the table. And every employee affected by these records will have a confidential way to speak with the review team. Rebecca leaned forward. Charles, this response could create unnecessary concern. Charles met her eyes. The concern already exists. A beat. We simply stopped counting it. Hannah felt those words settle across the room. This was not the dramatic punishment she had expected. No shouting. No public humiliation. Charles was doing something harder. He was removing the conditions that had allowed the problem to remain invisible. One of the managers shifted in his chair. What about Ms. Brooks? She refused a direct instruction. Charles looked at Hannah, then at the unsigned report. She refused to put her name on information she could not verify. His gaze returned to the manager. That is not insubordination. A quiet pause. That is judgment. Hannah lowered her eyes. For the first time since morning, she felt the tension in her shoulders ease. Charles picked up her badge, but he did not hand it back. Not yet. He placed it carefully in front of her. I told you this morning that you earned your place here. Hannah looked at him. I meant it. Charles stepped back from the table. But whether you still want that place is no longer my decision. The room remained silent. Hannah touched the edge of the badge with one finger. She thought of Megan in the stairwell, the maintenance worker cleaning someone else's spilled coffee, the report that had looked perfect because inconvenient truths had been removed from it. Then she looked at Charles. "What happens after today?" Charles answered without hesitation. "We find out how deep this goes. And after that, we fix what can be fixed." His voice softened. "And we admit what should never have been ignored." Hannah studied him. 10 minutes had become nearly half an hour. Her trust had not returned. Trust did not work that quickly. But something else had. Possibility. At 5:16, Hannah stood. She left the badge on the table. Charles noticed. "I need to pick up my daughter." He nodded. "Of course." Hannah walked toward the door, then stopped. "Mr. Montgomery." "Yes." She glanced back at the badge. "I am not saying no." A small warmth reached Charles's face. "I know." Hannah left the room. Behind her, Charles turned back toward the people responsible for answering what came next. And for the first time all day, Hannah walked toward the elevator without feeling that she was running away. The next morning, Hannah arrived at 8:12. She stood across the street from Montgomery Group with a paper cup of coffee warming both hands, watching sunlight move across the glass tower. Yesterday, she had looked at that building and seen security, then disappointment. This morning, she saw a choice. Her phone vibrated. A message from her daughter waited on the screen. "Did you have a good first day, Mommy?" Hannah smiled. She had avoided answering that question the night before. She had made dinner, helped with homework, packed lunch for the morning, and listened to a long story about something that happened at school. Ordinary things. Important things. Finally, Hannah had said, "I learned something yesterday." Her daughter had looked up. "What?" "Sometimes a good job is not just about what they pay you." Her daughter had considered that with the seriousness only a child could give such a sentence. Then she asked, "Are you going back?" Hannah had not known. Now, standing beneath the morning sky, she finally did. She crossed the street. Charles was waiting outside the entrance. Not upstairs. Not behind a desk. Outside. "Good morning, Miss Brooks." "Good morning, Mr. Montgomery." He held a slim folder but no employee badge. Hannah noticed. Charles did too. "I thought giving you the same badge back would be missing the point." He handed her the folder. Inside was a written proposal. Not a promotion dressed up as an apology. Not an extravagant salary. A newly structured role supporting employee integrity and internal reporting, with direct access to an independent compliance team, rather than the managers whose performance those reports measured. Hannah read slowly. "This did not exist yesterday." "No. You created a position overnight?" "I created a temporary framework overnight." Charles almost smiled. "The lawyers would be very unhappy if I pretended the rest could happen that quickly." Hannah laughed softly. It was the first easy moment they had shared. Then Charles became serious again. "The independent review began last night. Megan's statement is protected. The reporting process has been frozen until the review team finishes its work." "And Rebecca?" "She has been removed from decisions involving those complaints while the review is underway." Hannah nodded. No spectacle. No revenge. Just accountability. Charles looked toward the entrance. "I cannot promise you this company will never disappoint you again." Hannah appreciated that answer more than a perfect one. "But I can promise that when someone tells us something is wrong, we will not make silence easier than honesty." Hannah closed the folder. "And if I disagree with you?" Charles met her eyes. "Especially then." For several seconds, neither moved. People passed them on their way inside. Then the maintenance worker from yesterday approached the entrance carrying a travel mug. He recognized Hannah. "Morning." "Good morning." He smiled. "Glad to see you." Hannah looked at Charles, then at the building. "I have one condition." Charles raised an eyebrow. "Only one?" "For now." That earned the smallest smile. "I want employees like him involved in whatever you build." Charles followed her gaze. "Agreed." "And Megan?" "Agreed." Hannah took a breath. "Then I will try." Charles opened the glass door. Hannah stopped before walking through. Yesterday, entering this building had felt like receiving something. A chance. A future. Permission to belong. Today felt different. Today, Hannah understood that belonging was not something a powerful person could hand her. She already carried it. She stepped forward. Charles did not walk ahead. He simply held the door. And as Hannah entered Montgomery Group again, she realized her dream had changed. She no longer wanted a workplace impressive enough to make her grateful for being chosen. She wanted one honest enough to deserve the people who walked through its doors every morning. Money could build towers. Power could put a name above the entrance. But neither could make a place worth staying in. That required something quieter. The courage to listen when an ordinary person told the truth.